की जय, नितिल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गोक्षर स्वामी महाराज की जय, नितिल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद, नितिल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ बाबाजी महाराज की जय, श्री रूप गौरिया गुरु वर्ग की जय, श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल पतदास रघुनाथ शार गोसाई प्रभु की जय, श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौपाशाद वृंद की जय, नाम चैश्ल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय, सार्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय, श्री राधा कुंड श्यामा कुंड की जय, श्री मुन देवी गंगा देवी की जय, श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय, गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय, श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय, कार्तिक व्रत की जय, व्रत पालन करी भक्त वृंद की जय, कार्तिकी श्रीमती राधिका की जय, श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All right. So there's somebody there. Cool. Okay. So we are finishing up the second canto today. Let me just 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I have too many windows open. There. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Narayaniti Namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gauratishe namaha. He Krishna Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Yang Pravrajantam Anupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaka Tara Ajuhavo Putreti Tanmayataya Taravo Bhinedu Stang Sarva Bhuttaridaya Munimanatosmi. Narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Shrinvatang svakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana Dantasto yabhadrani vidhanoti surit satam. Nashta prayeshvabhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Tavai vasmi na jivami tvaya vina. Iti vigyaya radhe tvam nayamam charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay kshiptastakama ditarangam kripa maitam. Sharanam prapana vrinde namaste charanaravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Alright, So we just have a few more pages and then we are finished with the second canto. But just so that we know where we are, maybe I do too many of these. But anyhow, so in this 10th chapter, in the second canto, we read all about the 10 topics of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And the first 2 topics of the 10 were sarga and visarga. And so sarga, that is sarga is all the different elements of the universe. And it went through explaining what the element is, and so it went through and explained what the Lord's desire was, then which gross sense organ came from that, like the ears, and then what the subtle organ was, hearing, and then the presiding deity, the demigod of that sense organ, and then what sense organ and gross element came about from that. So the Lord's desire to hear himself through Vedic sounds, then ears came, and then from ears came the subtle sense of hearing, and the presiding deity of hearing is the demigods of the 4 directions, the Dig Devatas. And from that came sound and ether. Then the Lord desired to experience softness, hardness, heat, cold, heavy, and light objects. So then skin came, tvachi. And from skin came the subtle sense of touch. And the presiding deity of touch is Vayu, the wind god. And from that came touch and air. Anyhow, and it went through all these different things. We've already repeated this a couple times, so no need to go over it again. But then, yesterday we read about Visarga. So that's the secondary creation. So first was the initial, just getting all the different senses, sense organs, the sense objects. What were the last 3? The last one is to contemplate his Maya and his created objects. He created the hridayam, the heart, the mind. And from that we're able to think. And the presiding deity of that is Chandra. From that determination to desire came. Anyhow. So then yesterday we read about Visarga. I'll just read this little brief summary of what we read yesterday. The Lord, though not performing material actions, accepted the form of Brahma and performed actions for creating the forms and activities of the living entities. Verses 37 to 40 is about creation. All species, like the Prajapatis, the Manus, Devatas, humans, animals, reptiles, etc., are created by the Lord through Brahma, based on their karma. Prajapatis are the progenitors of mankind. So like all the different species and everything like that, they produce them all. And the Manus they give the instructions, they're the lawmakers for all of mankind. What are the duties of humankind and all that. Demigods, humans, animals. Yeah, so then verse 41, modes permute to give many species. Permute, what does permute mean? Permute means submit to a process of alteration, rearrangement, or permutation. Okay. The 3 modes creates different living entities: demigods, human beings, and hellish living entities. These 3 types of beings are again divided into 3, when each guna, when each one of these modes of nature is mixed with the other 2. Okay. Interesting. Okay, and now 42, maintenance. The Lord, in the form of Vishnu, maintains the humans, animals, and demigods, and reclaims the conditioned souls through various incarnations. 43. Destruction. The Lord, in the form of Rudra, annihilates the complete creation at the end of the millennium, just as the wind displaces the clouds. And verse 44, appreciation of devotees. Some devotees appreciate the Supreme Lord in his role as the creator, whereas the greater devotees appreciate him not just as a creator, but also as one who enjoys transcendental pastimes. 45. The Lord does not directly carry out the activities of creation, maintenance, and destruction. It's mentioned in the Vedas about his direct interference in the activities of creation. The mention in the Vedas about his direct interference in the activities of creation is simply to counteract the idea that the material nature is the creator. And now this is what we're reading today. Sarga and Visarga. So the initial creation and then the secondary creation. Usually Sarga happens at the beginning of Brahma's life, and Visarga at the beginning of Brahma's day. This is what we're reading today. And time. I will describe later in Canto 3, chapter 11, about the measurement of time. Now hear from me about the Padma Kalpa. My alarm is going off. One second. Okay. All right. Note this. Okay, so I'll describe later in Canto 3, chapter 11, about the measurement of time. Now hear from me about the Padma Kalpa. Note. This topic of Padma Kalpa gets delayed due to Shanak Rishi's eagerness to hear the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya, as he now inquires. Okay, so we're going to read about Shanak Rishi's inquiries about the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. Alright, so that's today. And then we're finished with the second canto. We'll begin the third canto tomorrow. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Find 46. Ayam tu brahmana kalpa savikalpa udahrita vedi sadharana yatra sarga prakrita vaikrita. This process of creation and annihilation is described in summary herein. This process of creation and annihilation described in summary herein is the regulative principle during the duration of Brahma's one day. It is also the regulative principle in the creation of Mahat, in which the material nature is dispersed. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are three different types of creation, called Mahakalpa, Vikalpa, and Kalpa. In the Mahakalpa, the Lord assumes the first Purusha incarnation as Karuna Dakshai Vishnu, with all the potencies of the Mahat Tattva, and the 16 principles of creative matter and instruments. The creative instruments are 11, the ingredients are 5, and all of them are products of Mahat, our materialistic ego. These creations by the Lord in his feature as Karuna Dakshai Vishnu are called Mahakalpa. The creation of Brahma and dispersion of the material ingredients are called Vikalpa. Okay. Sorry, I just trying to understand this. And the creation by Brahma in each day of his life is called Kalpa. Mahakalpa, Kalpa, Vikalpa, and Kalpa. Therefore, each day of Brahma is called a Kalpa, and there are 30 Kalpas in terms of Brahma's days. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 8:17 as follows. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyad Brahmano Vidu ratim yuga sahasrantam tehoratra vido jana. In the upper planetary system, the duration of one's complete day and night is equal to one complete year of this earth. This is accepted even by the modern scientists and attested by the astronauts. Similarly, in the region of still higher planetary systems, the duration of the day and night is still greater than in the heavenly planets. The 4 yugas are calculated in terms of the heavenly calendars, and accordingly are 12,000 years in terms of the heavenly planets. Okay, this is called a Divya Yuga, and 1,000 Divya Yugas make one day of Brahma. The creation during the day of Brahma is called Kalpa, and the creation of Brahma is called Vikalpa. When Vikalpas are made possible by the breathing of Mahavishnu, this is called a Mahakalpa. There are regular systematic cycles of these Mahakalpas, Vikalpas, and Kalpas. In answer to Maharaj Parikshit's questions about them, Shukadev Goswami answered in the Prabhas Khanda of the Skanda Puran. They are as follows. Whoa. Okay, let's get to this. Pratamashita kalpascha dvitiya nila lohita vamadeva strita tritiyastu tato gatantaro para Raurava panchama prokta shashta prana iti smrita saptamota brihat kalpa kandarpo shtama uchate sadhyata navama kalpa ishano dashama smrita dhyana ekadasha proktas tata sarasvato para Trayodasha udanastu garudato chaturdasha komora panchadasho kurma panchadasho geya purnamasi prajapate shodasho narasimhastu samadhistu tato para agneyo vishnuja saura somakalpastato para dvavingsho bhavana prokta supo mam iti chapara Vaikuntascharstitastavar Vali kalpastato para Saptavingsho tapdairajo Gauri kalpastata para Maheshwarastata proktas Tripuro yatra gatita Pitri kalpastata chante Yakuhur brahmana smrita. Okay, that was long. Therefore, the 30 kalpas of Brahma are 1. The Shveta Kalpa. 2. Nila Lohita. I'm just going to say the names, no need the numbers. Vamandev, Gatantar, Rorav, Prana, Brihad Kalpa, Kandarpa, Sadyota, Ishana, Dhyana, Saraswata, Udana, Garuda, Korma, Narsingha, Samadhi, Ageya, Vishnuja, Saura, Somakalpa, Bhavana, Supama, Vaikunta, Archisha, Valikalpa, Vairaja, Gaurikalpa, Maheshwara, Paitri Kalpa. So these are this is like Brahma's monthly calendar, right? These are each a day of Brahma, is it? Yes. These are Brahma's days only. And he has to live months and years up to 100. So we can just imagine how many creations there are in kalpas only. Then again, there are Vikalpas, which are generated by the breathing of Mahavishnu, as stated in the Brahma Samhita. Yasaika nishvasita kalam Yasaika nishvasita kalam atavalambya jivanti loma vilaja jagarandanata. Brahma Samhita 40, verse 48. The Brahmas live only during the breathing period of Mahavishnu. So the exhaling and inhaling of Vishnu are Mahakalpas. And all of these are due to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for no one else is the master of all creations. I wonder, just 1 second. Kalpa, Vikalpa, Mahakalpa. I'm sure there's a good picture so we can get an idea of it. Yep, look at that. Okay. Ah, shoot. I just want the picture, not the website. Anyways, open image, a new tab there. Ah, it's a bad picture. Anyhow. So there's the life of Brahma, 36,000 kalpas. There's the creation, full devastation. Then kalpa is a day of Brahma. Manvantar, Divya. Anyways, we're going to get more into this later. I'll find a better chart. I think it gets into this in the third canto, right? Parimanam chakalasya kalpalakshana vigraham yata purustar vyakyasye parmam kalpamato shrinu. O king, I shall in due course explain the measurement of time in its gross and subtle features, with the specific symptoms of each. But for the present, let me explain unto you the Parma Kalpa. Purport. The present duration of a kalpa of Brahma is called the Varaha Kalpa, or the Sweta Varaha Kalpa, because the incarnation of the Lord as Varaha took place during the creation of Brahma, who is born out of a lotus coming out of the abdomen of Vishnu. Therefore, this Varaha Kalpa is also called Padma Kalpa, and this is testified by acharyas like Jiva Goswami as well as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in pursuance of the first commentator Sridhar, Swami Sridhar. So there is no contradiction between Varaha and the Padma Kalpa of Brahma. 48. Shaunaka uvacha yadaho no bhavan sutta kshata bhagavatottama chachara tirtani bhuvas tyakta bandhun sudustyajan. Shaunak Rishi, after hearing all about the creation, inquired from Sutta Goswami. After hearing about all the creation, Shaunak Rishi inquired from Sutta Goswami about Vidura, for Sutta Goswami had previously informed him how Vidura left home, leaving aside all his relatives, who were very difficult to leave. Purport. The rishis headed by Shaunak were more anxious to know about Vidura, who met Maitreya Rishi while traveling to the pilgrimage sites of the world. Kshatu kosharavis tasya sambhado dhyatma sangshrita yadvasa bhagavangs tasmai prishtastatvam uvachaha bruhi nastaridam somya vidurasya vicheshtitam bandhutyaga nimittam cha yattaiva gatavam punam. Shaunak Rishi said, "Let us know, please, what topics were discussed between Vidura and Maitreya, who talked on the transcendental subjects, and what was inquired by Vidura and replied by Maitreya. Also, please let us know the reason for Vidura's giving up the connection of his family members, and why he again came home. Please also let us know the activities of Vidura while he was in the places of pilgrimage." Purport. Shri Sutta Goswami was narrating the topics of the creation and destruction of the material world, but it appears that the rishis headed by Shaunak were more inclined to hear of transcendental subjects, which are on a higher level than the physical. There are two classes of men, namely those too addicted to the gross body and the material world, and others on the higher level, who are interested more in transcendental knowledge. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam gives facility to everyone, both the materialist and to the transcendentalist. By hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the matter of the Lord's glorious activities both in the material world and in the transcendental world, men can derive equal benefit. The materialists are more interested in the physical laws and how they are acting, and they see wonders in those physical glamours. Sometimes, due to the physical glamours, they forget the glories of the Lord. They should know definitely that physical activities and their wonders are all initiated by the Lord. The rose in the garden gradually takes its shape and color to become beautiful and sweet, not by a blind physical law, although it appears like that. Behind that physical law is the direction of the complete consciousness of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, things cannot take shape so systematically. The artist draws a picture of a rose very nicely with all attention and artistic sense, and yet it does not become as perfect as the real rose. If that is the real fact, how can we say that the real rose has taken its shape without intelligence behind the beauty? This sort of conclusion is due to a poor fund of knowledge. One must know from the above description of creation and annihilation that the Supreme Consciousness, being omnipresent, can take care of everything with perfect attention. That is the fact of the omnipresence of the Supreme Lord. Persons, still more foolish than gross materialists, however, claim to be transcendentalists and claim to have such supreme, all-pervading consciousness, but offer no proof. Such foolish persons cannot know what is going on behind the next wall, yet they are falsely proud of possessing the cosmic, all-pervading consciousness of the Supreme Person. For them also, hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is a great help. It will open their eyes to see that simply by claiming supreme consciousness, one does not become supremely conscious. One has to prove in the physical world that he has such supreme consciousness. The rishis of Naimisharanya, however, were above the gross materialists and the false transcendentalists, and thus they were always anxious to know the real truth in transcendental matters, as discussed by authorities. Sutta uvacha Ragya parikshita prishto yaravochan mahamuni tarvo bidhasya shrinuta ragya prashnanusarata. Sri Sutta Goswami explains, I shall now explain to you the very subjects explained by the great sage in answer to King Parikshit's inquiries. Please hear them attentively. Purport. Any question that is put forward may be answered by quoting the authority, and that satisfies the saner section. That is the system even in the law court. The best lawyer gives evidence from the past judgment of the court without taking much trouble to establish his case. This is called the parampara, the parampara system, and learned authorities follow it without manufacturing rubbish interpretations. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Let us all obey the Supreme Lord, whose hand is in everything, without exception. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the second canto, 10th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions. End of the second canto. Haribol. We began this in the actually we just began the second book, didn't we, in the beginning of Kartik? So I guess it takes a month a book. Oh, you couldn't find the video for yesterday's reading? All right, I can send it to you. You know, I'm also streaming on YouTube. Let me just 1 second. YouTube. How come it's not typing? Madhukar Das Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Let's see if that comes up. I can send you the, yeah, see? There's, anyhow, it should be there somewhere. Madhukar Das. Videos. Yeah. Here's yesterday's video, 37 to 45. 1 second, I'll send you the link. Okay, and I will finish with Mahamantra. There. Okay, there, I just sent the link. Yeah, we started the second canto on, but just this book here. Let me hide the screen now. Yeah, just this book here. We started at the beginning of Kartik, first day of Kartik. So yeah, it's about a month a book. And how many books are there? It's going to take a long time for us to get through the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Let me get, 1 second, I'm just going to get... So we're going to start this tomorrow morning. The status quo. I get to open up the plastic. It's the funnest part. Okay, let's end. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Vihari Ju ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai, Nikhil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Shri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki Jai, Nikhil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Shri Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Nikhil Vishnu Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitila Pravishram Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Nitila Pravishram Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitila Pravishra Maha-Bhagavat Srila Goraksharas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Nitila Pravishra Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai, Nitila Pravishra Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannathas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhattadash Raghunath Shara Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai, Namachay Shri Hairas Thakur ki Jai, Prem se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Braja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai, Sarva Abhishta Bharata Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund ki Jai, Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai, Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki Jai, Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Shinitaya Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol, Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Padadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Maybe we can do a little summary also of the second canto tomorrow. Just a really quick summary, just so that we have an idea of everything that we read. Because, you know, when you're going through it, it's taken us like 2 months to get through the second canto. And so when you're going through it that slowly, sometimes you forget. You know, I don't remember what we read about 2 months ago. So, so yeah, we can do a little quick summary of the second canto. And sorry I was so late today. I have excuses, but anyhow. Alright, Jai Shri Radhe. In 2 hours from now, I'm going to go live in the Festival of the Holy Name Kirtan group. Have you ever seen that? There's this Kirtan group called Festival of the Holy Name. It's done by some ISKCON devotees, and it has like 93,000 or something, 90-something thousand people are in that group. So yeah, I'm going to be singing that in a couple hours from now. It's really nice though. It's 24/7. Like every now and then they'll organize a program, and for 24/7 for like a few days, they'll have devotees all in different countries, all singing Mahamantra one after another. It's really nice. My Kirtan group, or our Kirtan group, not my Kirtan group, only has like 700 people in it, or under 700 people. I mean, I did just start it in Kartik time, but anyhow. All right. Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hari Bol.